All right, we're back. Just making sure the audio is working. Everything's good. Let's go. Hey, Tony, how are you, buddy? Hope you are well. And I hope everybody had a good weekend. I had a good weekend. What did I get up to this weekend? Well, it was pretty quiet, actually. Our dog was sick, so we kind of had an easy weekend. We didn't do a whole lot. Grinding RuneScape, cool. Um, yeah, no, the dog was sick, so we kind of tried to stay home and hang out with him a little bit because I don't know, he's old, and so when he's sick, he's quite needy, and so therefore you find yourself worrying that he's going to start barking, right? And yeah, that's kind of a problem. He's not used to being. Well, he's always sort of doing his own thing most of the time. So we're usually upstairs and he's downstairs, and when we go downstairs and hang out for a bit, he kind of just putters around and whatever. But when he's not well, he likes us to be sort of nearby all the time, and so he's kind of underfoot. And then we're upstairs doing our thing, and he can't come upstairs, so he gets really quite needy, and that's, I wouldn't say it's annoying, like that's not maybe the right word to use, but he starts to bark and stuff, and because we live in townhouses and whatever, you can't really have him barking because the neighbors, it's solid concrete houses, right? But still, the neighbors can hear when he's barking, and he doesn't bark loud. He's not a huge dog. He's sort of a medium sized dog, but I don't know. We can hear it, so I'm sure they can maybe hear it. We'd prefer them not to hear. Like I wouldn't want to listen to their dog bark. So so yeah. So he was sick. We were trying, kind of not trapped. That's not the right word, but we stayed home a lot of the weekend and hung out with him. He's still not well. He's just old. So when dogs get old, they start to get a little bit broken down. Broken down. They're like people. They get a little bit sick, and yeah. So hopefully he's better in the next few days. I think he has I think he has the equivalent of like the flu or something, or allergies or some shit. He's kind of sneezing, and he sounds a little bit congested. First, we thought because dogs get heart failure, and when they get heart failure, they start to have trouble breathing, like people. But the more we kind of paid attention to him, he wasn't having trouble breathing. He just sounded a bit congested, and then he would sneeze, and the dogs do this thing called reverse sneezing, which is so weird. So imagine how you sneeze and you sneeze out, right? And you blow out your sinuses and you blow out your nasal passages. Dogs do the opposite. They do this thing called reverse sneezing where they suck in a whole bunch of stuff. So it sounds like he's gasping for air, but he's not. So it's kind of weird. So we started to notice he was doing that a little bit. Um, and yeah. Anyway, he seems to be a little bit better today. Actually, he's kind of moving around a little bit more, and he's eating. It's just a whole bunch of stuff happened to poor little bugger at the same time. Like he was due for his heartworm pills, and that always puts him off color a little bit. And then he had those, and then he started to feel unwell, and yeah, and he's just old, right? He's like 13, 14 years old. So in human years, that's you're in your late 70s, early 80s at that point in human years. So, but he's like up to last week, like before he started to get sick on Friday, like if you did a week ago, you would not have known he was in what they call a senior dog. You would not have had any idea. He's healthy looking, he's fit looking, he moves really well. He's got lots of energy, but man, whatever hit him on Thursday, Friday, it poleaxed him. So that was not good. And then today, Harriet's mom's laptop died on the weekend, and she's talking about buying laptops and all kinds of stuff. And so she only uses a web browser. That's all. That's all she does. She uses a browser. She does her online banking through the browser. She does her online share trading through the browser. She watches YouTube through a browser. She reads Gmail. She goes to a couple websites that she visits, and that's her. That's the internet, right? So we'd given her a Chromebook in the past, and she didn't like the Chromebook. It was actually a good Chromebook too. It was a big screen, nice keyboard. She didn't like it. I'm not sure why. And then she started talking about buying a MacBook, and I'm like, I don't know, man. A $2,000 web browser seems a little bit expensive. And so yesterday when she was talking about her laptop dying, she said to Harriet, she's like, if my iPad was really good, I'd just use that. And so she has an old iPad mini from 7 or 8 years ago. And that's what she calls her iPad. And that's just trash. It's just old. And so my wife has an iPad, I don't know, 6th gen or something. So it's like 3 or 4 years old. But it's still perfectly workable and it's in good shape. We take care of that sort of stuff. And so I said to my mother-in-law, look, what if we send you Harriet's iPad and I'll just buy Harriet a new iPad? So she's like, yeah, that would be a good deal. So I went out this morning and bought Harriet a new 2022 iPad Air. So she's excited about that. She quite likes the iPad. The iPad's one of those devices, man. I love the iPad. Like I think it's a fantastic device. I just don't quite think it's perfect. So if you ask me, I've owned everything. I've owned one of pretty much every device imaginable. And for me, the original iPad mini was my favorite device I've ever owned. Because I was traveling a lot and stuff when that came out. And so having that mini with me where I could just use it as like a little book and just read and stuff. That was phenomenal. It was good value. It was a great piece of technology. And I've had several iPads and stuff, and I always liked the iPad. I think technically it's a brilliant piece of kit, but I can't for the life of me find the use case where it's not a secondary or tertiary device. So I always end up with a PC or a laptop as my primary computing device. And then I end up living on my phone. And then I have an iPad. And so I can never get it to move above that third tier of device. I just can't. And I'm not sure why. And I've tried multiple times. So a few years back, I bought an iPad and I said, I'm going to use this as a laptop replacement. And it just isn't. It's just not an iPad replacement, or it's not a laptop replacement. And then a couple people I work with went down that path when the iPad Pro came out. So they bought the 12-inch iPad Pro and said, this is going to be my laptop replacement. And like every single person who did it, 6 weeks in, back to the laptop for work. Couldn't make it work. And so for Harriet, who uses her iPad for mobile gaming, so she plays Diablo Immortal. So for her, that's perfect. She watches like YouTube videos and stuff in bed and whatever. It's great. She loves it. She'll watch some TV when I'm doing shit like this. And she really enjoys it. And so she loves the iPad. She doesn't have a laptop. She doesn't like them. So for her, the iPad's perfect. And arguably, it's her. So her PC is her primary gaming device. But if she's web browsing or whatever, it's the iPad or the phone. But more often than not, the iPad. So for her, the iPad fills a use case that makes sense. Where the PC is like a secondary gaming machine. It's just there for that. It makes sense. But because I do work online and stuff like this, right? The PC is always going to be the primary device. So anyway, she's really happy with her new iPad. I was gonna buy two actually. I was sitting there going, "Oh, should I grab a second and have one for myself?" And then you sort of look at you at that $1,200, man. Like that's a bit much for. Maybe I'll use it once in a while. Because I sat there while I was in the store going, "Oh, I could buy a pencil, and I could use it to write and take notes, and if I'm streaming, I could bring it up as a chat screen." And then I kind of went, "No, I won't. I won't do any of that stuff. I won't." So common sense took over, and I put the second one away and just bought hers. But now we're waiting for a delivery from Amazon. They're supposed to bring some cables tonight and a case for it. Amazon's back to same day delivery, which is cool in Sydney. They basically had to stop that during COVID because one, supply chain, two, just the sheer volume of deliveries. So they've obviously got their supply chain sorted in their delivery. No, she's just getting power cables, USB-C power cables. 4090. The 4090 is stupidly large. There's a where is it? See if I can find this picture. Here. It's just silly. It's so big. Hold on a sec. Like, look at the size of these things, right? Hold on. Game. Okay. So here we are. So this is a Lian Li Cool 2 case. No, stop that. So that's a Lian Li 2 Cool case. So that's one of it's a top end PC case. That RTX 4090 can't even fit in the case. It's too wide for that case. So then here's Jay's 2 cents. And Jay is comparing the size of a 4090 against a PlayStation 5. It's almost as big as a PS5. That's ridiculous. Right? So that's just kind of stupid. And then here's another picture. But look at DeBauer. He has the Aorus. And, like, you know, Roman's not a big lad. Like, he's not a giant man. Look at the size of that thing. Right? This is the Founders Edition card. It's bigger than an Xbox Series S. Like, look at this thing. That's hard to imagine something's that big. Like so there's that. And then these are the AIB cards, the partner cards. they're actually even bigger if you can somehow wrap your brain around that. Like, that's just madness. Like, it's just absolute utter madness that they're that big. So what is it? Bad engineering. I don't know if it's bad engineering. It's I don't know. It can't really be anything other than bad engineering if you think about it that in engineering terms, right? Like, so so if you think about what a graphics card is meant to do, right? Every generation you want the graphics card to be faster. And in this generation of GPUs for NVIDIA in this case, they shrunk the node size, so they moved off Samsung 8 nanometer to TSMC 5 nanometer, so they get the benefit of a shrink in node, so the transistors are closer together. But then in the same package, so the same die complex, there's more transistors. So that's just making it go faster. More transistors, graphics chip goes, that's just how it works. More transistors, faster performance. But then to get even more performance out of it, they have to throw more power at it as well. And so smaller transistors can conduct electricity faster. So the whole thing goes faster with more power. So now you end up in a situation where they're shooting, 350, 400 watts of power at it. And some of the AIB cards will go up probably over 500 watts. Well, now you have to cool that, right? You can't. It'll thermal throttle if you don't get the heat off the die complex. So now the coolers need to be bigger. And if you look at that one from the Aorus, I mean, that's just a massive, massive fin stack, right? So that's got, I think somebody said it has 12 copper heat pipes that are moving through the fin stack and 3 axial fans. Like, so the bulk of the size is just heat dissipation. There's another picture I saw somewhere where the 4090 Founders Edition, the board itself, the actual circuit board, it's the same size as the 3090. So the increased size is all just cooling capacity. So you think about it, right? If you buy a 4090 AIB, like a partner card, and you turn that thing up to, you overclock the bejesus out of it, you get it up to 450 watts or more, right? If you do that, and then you add in like an Intel 13900K or the new Zen 4 7950X, right? Between those two parts, you're now rapidly approaching 800 watts. And that'll spike to over 1,000, maybe more, right? So basically at 1,000 watts of power, that's a heater, right? If you have a little electric heater in your room, those things start at 1,000 watts. So effectively your PC in this world becomes a heater. So now you have to cool that off. Now, if you're like us, like Tony and I here, and you live in Australia, our summers get kind of hot, like toasty hot, 45 Celsius hot. You have a 1,000-watt space heater running at the same time in your room. Now you have to really crank the air conditioning up to kind of cool that down. And that's kind of the thing I think people don't really understand. The average person, right? People who are PC enthusiasts or, I guess, engineers, they kind of understand that if you have 1,000 watts running to your PC, that's heat. That's not electricity so much. It's heat that has to be moved. And so therefore that gets in the room. And so you have a 4090 and a 7950X or a 13900K from Intel, you're basically just putting a 1,000-watt space heater in your room to play video games. That's not including monitors and whatever other stuff you got going on. So now you're going to need an air conditioner in your room just to play video games. That's starting to get weird. It's okay for me. I can afford it. But for the average punter who's facing, here in Australia, some people are getting like 40 and 50% electricity bill increases. It's a little bit expensive. Maybe I just buy a console. That's the kind of mentality. You kind of be smart too, right? Go out and spend $700 on a PlayStation, you'd be fine. If you're only a kind of casual. If you're a PC enthusiast, it's not ideal. Like me. So, like even in here, right? I don't know, it's whatever the temperature is right now here in Sydney. It's, where are we at? It's 15 Celsius, right? So it's not hot. It's kind of fall evening. With with that light on, the camera, the two monitors, and the PC running, it's getting a bit warm in this room. And you throw another 20 degrees Celsius midsummer evening, 35 degrees, pretty normal here in Sydney. Now, take my PC, which is probably running at about 500 watts, throw it up to 1,000, double the heat coming out of that thing. It's going to get warm. So will I buy a 4090? Maybe. I'm not going to say no. Maybe. It'll be 3,000 Australian dollars. But it's going to cost me money because it'll be cooling that shit down. Will be hard. It'll be very hot in here. The hard part will actually be work during the day, right? Because it'll probably run lower, to be fair. My GPU doesn't really... Microsoft Teams doesn't give it a kicking. Let's put it that way. So, we'll see. Anyway, yeah. So the 4090, big ugly thing. Anyway, let's... what are we going to do? We should get into some Football Manager. Let's do that. Let's go over here. And let's go in game. I was looking at this earlier. So where are we at? So we played a bit off stream in the last few days, which has been fun. I kind of made the decision last week, I think, that I was going to play off stream because I'm enjoying playing. I can't really stream all the time because of, personal life commitments and stuff like that. And with FM23 being like 2 weeks away from the demo coming out and 3.5 weeks from launch, November 8th, I'm not really going to get a lot of time to finish this save or even make solid progress. So I thought, well, I'm going to just play it in my own time and I'll just update stream on it. And so we finished last year. Let's go look at the schedule. We'll go back a season. So last year we had the usual rough September where we couldn't score, couldn't get a win, couldn't do anything. And then we started to turn that around in October, which is kind of the norm now. And we had an okay November. And then we kind of caught fire through December and January. And by this stage, we were up near the top of the table. And then we ran away with it. This was the hardest ending to a season I've ever had, by a mile, actually. In the last 5 games of the season, we played Stoneham, Shaftesbury, Christchurch, Portchester, and we'll ignore this because it was a League Cup game. We were in at one point second. We played the team in 6th, 5th, 4th, 3rd, and 1st. We played all the teams around us over the last 5 or 6 games. There was only one. This was the only game. This was the only game here where the team was nowhere near the top of the table. All of these games, Whitchurch, Stoneham, Shaftesbury, Christ, these were the top. All of these teams were the top 5 or 6 teams in the division. So we basically had to win. And it was us in Portchester, and we tied against them. And this one was painful because we had to draw at the end. We scored a 76th minute equalizer for the draw. And then we won. We won the league on the last day with a 60. We were down here too. This was the other thing in this match as well. Oh no, they got a 92nd minute goal. We were up 2-0. So that was good. Like, where did we end up? History, competitions. So yeah. We were that was last season. Anyway, it was a good win for us. So we got out of there, and we won the double last year too. Actually, we won the cup, the League Cup, and we won the division. So that brings us sort of to the squad. And what we did in the off season was we signed a whole bunch of players we had on loan. So we had Santoro, Corcoran, Medway, Lawson, Brennan, Bruczynski, Scott, Marmol. We had all these guys on loan, so we signed them to permanent contracts. And then we brought in Ollie Mulders on a free. Bana was our keeper in the first season. And he was really good, but he didn't want to come back. He was playing in a league above us and he was starting, so he didn't want to play back. And so then we needed a backup. Well, we actually needed a goalie because these two, this one and this one, they're both young. So I thought we'll get an experienced keeper. So we brought him on a free because he was on a free transfer. And then we signed Jack Noldy, and then we signed our keeper, Jake Alley. So now we've subsequently ended up sending Marmol and Lawson out on season-long loans to hopefully develop them a little bit. So that was good, and we've recently brought in Mark Kearney, and then we've just loaned in this guy, Russell Crowther. I like this guy because I actually think he reminds me an awful lot of Ian Taylor, who's still our captain. He just is a younger version, not quite as tall, but potentially a better fit. I should actually, while I've got this here, training, mentoring, I should put him in a mentoring group with I should put him in that mentoring group and take out Santoro. Or not Santoro. Yeah. Kind of. I could see myself buying this guy if we can get his mentals sorted out. So anyway, so that was that. And then last year we had old mate Taylor. He had a blinder at the back half of the year with 32 goal contributions, 22 goals. So that really was a pretty solid season for him. Who else was really good last year? This guy came in at the end of the season, a young player, and was really good for us in the right back position. Corcoran and Prince kind of established themselves. Prince has sort of become a stalwart back there. He's still young, but exceptionally, he's developing really well. Corcoran is apparently the best player on our team. What's his name? Gravita. He's kind of dropped down the pecking order a bit as other players have pushed past him. We brought in this guy last year, I want to say. Yeah, we brought him in on loan last year, or we signed him. But he's turning into an excellent player. We brought Brennan back last year on a permanent deal, and he had another good season. So we're sort of built out our team with loans and then bringing the players in permanently. I don't think this year we're gonna have that same approach. I think this year we'll have a lot of rotation through our existing team. But yeah, I think the thing that's noticeable is a few of the players, the salaries are starting to get up there. So you have our older guys who are on like between 20 and 45 pounds a week, except Gravita, who's on 65. And then you have the new guys like Jake Alley on 130. Or Ollie Mulder's on 95 and Noldy on 90. And they're backups now, right? But the thing that's starting to become noticeable is some of our players are starting to become worth something, you know. Speaking of becoming worth something, our finances were such a disaster, we ended up being sold. And I would suspect that we'll probably have another takeover in the next year or so because expenditures are climbing very quickly. And we're not going to, like, unless we start winning, you know, third and fourth round of the FA Cup where we start getting some actual money, we're not. Or we get a huge cup tie and, you know, we go away to like, you know, Manchester United or something. We're not going to get enough money to not go huge in debt. And the thing is that it's our scouting costs are high. Our scouting budget is big, but we're like £1,000 a week under the budget. You know, we're just over sort of 55-60% of the budget for wages. So I'm kind of trying to do what I can to keep things in line, but is what it is. But anyway, we're having a good run to the season. We're in first mainly on percentage points, but you know we're in the playoff hunt, which is kind of like where you want to be. I hate playoffs, so my goal would be to win this division if we're going to go up. I don't want to do playoffs because those are ass. Not a lot of fun. So, yeah. All right. What's our schedule looking like? Very, very busy. at the moment. The schedule is packed. Lots of games in a very short period of time, every couple of days. And then it sort of starts to thin out a bit as we get through Christmas. But the first half of the season is super busy. And we've got this game coming up. I really would like to win that. I'd like to get out into the second, or I'd like to get into the actual FA Cup proper if we could somehow swing that. But we also have an FA Trophy qualifier, so we sort of got things happening. But we just need to win some of these because we just really need the money. We need to have some cash coming in for this stuff. Because I could envision a scenario where the board will start selling players under us if we don't get our finances fixed. So, or we'll have a second takeover in 2 seasons. Because we're not really, we don't have a big enough reputation. We're just not drawing a huge amount of people to the games. Sort of 100. If you go into detailed stats, and so you can see our salary actually, which is really weird. I was pretty surprised by that. We have the sort of 5th highest salary in the division, so that's pretty crazy. But if you look at average attendance, we're 3rd from the bottom. We're averaging 96 people, as opposed to Guernsey, who are pulling in 5 times that much. So ideally, it would be good to grow the fan base a little bit, but we'll see. Gravita got hurt for 6 weeks, hurt his knee. So Cribs is a side that where was the season preview? So we were way down the bottom to start. Oh, it's over there. Good. But they had a good start to the season too. So might not mean anything. One thing I have done though is do we want to make those changes? Cancel. What is our fitness looking like? Okay, lots of people are tired. Okay, so we'll bring Bert in there. Actually, we'll swap those 2 around. Or actually, yeah, we'll do that. He's tired too. Boogers. Okay. Okay. So Cant is... I think my dog's barking. Sorry, just give me 1 sec. Wasn't my dog, apparently. I'm expecting a package, like I said, from Amazon. And so I thought the guy may have come in and the dog started barking at him. So, anyway. Prince is tired. Could do that. Yeah, that kind of looks okay. Actually, you know what? We'll make a couple of changes just to get some fresh legs in. And sort of rest people a little bit, because we've got that League Cup match coming up. So we might just rest some bodies. Don't really have anyone else that can do that kind of role. So you're sort of stuck there. We just won't use you. Okay. Let's go. It's kind of a different look team for us. So one of the things I've been doing tactically is I've been building the team to be a little bit bigger and a little bit faster than everybody else. So I've been kind of focusing on that more than anyone. And so one of the things I've been doing, we're in our goals today, let's go, is I've been playing very attacking, and I compressed the line. And in this sort of lower league, what it's doing is there we go, Crowther. See, I told you this guy was the young Ian Taylor. What the compression is doing is wow, Route 1 football, man. Let's go. That was a good touch. So what that compression is doing is it's putting a lot of pressure into the center of the pitch. And at this level, teams aren't good enough to pass around it. They turn the ball over a lot. So all we have to do is just be a little bit faster to get to the gaps, a little bit stronger on the ball. Oh, Jesus, he almost knocked the net over with that one. So yeah, so that's kind of the play. Just trying to take advantage of these teams not having a lot of skill. But what's happening when that occurs is that we are playing a very high defensive line, and we're getting beaten sometimes with balls over the top, and if their forwards are faster than our defenders and that sort of stuff. So yeah, so that's a bit of a problem. But you can see we're just quicker. So we kind of, and that's what's happening a lot of the time, is the compressed midfield is good. But we do get beaten like that a lot. We get beaten that way a fair bit. So especially because we're playing very attacking, right? We're kind of getting we got done again. So this is not ideal, but we're scoring a lot, so I'm not too worried about it. I'm sure our midfield's having an absolute stinker of a day. We'll make some changes to the midfield. I think that's where we're getting beaten today. We'll make some substitutions. We'll get Kingo on for him. We'll get Brennan on for him. And we'll get Win on there. We'll swap those two around. And we'll yell at them and tell them to be better. And we'll demand more. Whoa. We're going to give a penalty here. I can smell it. Oh. Nope. Guess not. Our midfield needed to be better than it's been. Wow. They're doing to us what we've been doing to everybody else. Okay, so this is kind of what's been helping us. That where teams try to play long on us and they can't. Oh, that was ambitious. Again, that compressed midfield's been tough to break down. Oh, what? Oh, it was off the post. Wasn't sure what happened there. Bummer. We're getting our chances. Hassel is not having a good game. Mulders is not having a good game. We just have Hassels, who's probably been our best player offensively so far this year, has had a pretty poor day, which isn't great. Go pressure him. See, there's no need for that. You could knock that ball down. This is where we're getting cut apart because of the style. We're playing that sort of high defensive line, and we just get cut open sometimes, but let's demand more. Even a draw. Oh, there we go. Even a draw would be good, but you never know, man. We have a lot of goals, so we get another one here. Wouldn't be surprised. Mulder's not good. Oh well, we'll take the draw. I don't think we were particularly good today. So that's disappointing. But we rested some people, so that's a good thing. Falling a bit behind. Isaac Brennan is injured. Crowther is on form. He was pretty good. Oops. We deserved to win. I don't know about that. What's our calendar look like? Where are we? Cribs. What's our training schedule? I might give everybody 2 days off here who played so that they don't end up getting wiped out in training. So the guys who didn't play. Santoro. Those guys played. Okay. What we'll do with those guys is we'll rest them for 2 days. And that'll get them through that training session where they won't get touched in training. We're have to be careful. We just have so many games in a short period of time here that it wouldn't be ideal to. Yeah, like there's no chance that our assistant is saying we should have won. Like, get real. They want to pay us a fee. They want to pay 70% of his wages. We're not going to do it anyway because he's, we're going to reject all loan offers for him because he is a fundamental core player for our side. We'll use the suggested training. Yeah, this is the one, the Worcester City match. I'm sort of keen on having the A side up for, but got to get some wins because we can't get ourselves in that position where we're so far behind at Christmas that digging ourselves out of the hole to try and make a promotion run is impossible because that just happens to us us every year, except last year we were good at the start. But I think I'm starting to get I think I worked out what was wrong. I was so busy finding new players that I wasn't focusing on match sharpness enough for I wasn't focusing enough on match sharpness for the players we had in our side. So yeah, let's praise his training. Let's speak about warning him about his training. I don't even know who that is. He must be one of those guys that's on trial. Okay, so this dude here. Yeah, no. You're not going to play for us ever. So terminate the trial. Sorry, Simeon. You can go. Zach Walker. Again, you don't play the right position for us, but we'll see a little bit more time. Actually, now your finishing's not good enough. Dylan Edge. That's a great name. He's a very happy looking young guy. He's quick. His finishing's mediocre. Well, we'll see what happens there, Dylan. Owen Price. There you are. You're fast. You're big. You're not very strong. Nah, I don't really need you. Don't really need you. You're probably not gonna want to play for us anyway. What I'd like to do is I'd like to get promoted again this year. Re-sign some of my boys. They'll get a value increase, and then maybe look at selling a few of them. Because we can kind of cash in on the development of them. We wouldn't get a lot, but if we sold a few of them, we might make 10 or 20 grand out of it, which would be ideal. But because our youth development is so poor, we don't, and our facilities are bad, we don't really develop players very well. So it's kind of proving to be a bit of a problem. Like, that's a... Okay. Yeah. Actually, you know what? All those guys can play. Yeah, we're not really developing players that much, and the club just doesn't have enough resources. Okay, let's view the draw. Let's draw all the teams. Peacehaven and Peacehaven and Telscombe. Okay. Oh well. See how we go, I guess. Fellow minnows. Yeah, so hopefully, a couple of cup rounds would not go astray financially. But yeah, we just don't have the money to build out facilities. Ideally, if I had more time to play this save, I'd do what I normally do in these kind of these long-term saves, is I try and get up to, League 1 or League 2 as quickly as I can get there, and then I try and consolidate there, and that's where you sort of try and be profitable and build out some of your facilities so that you can develop a few players. And if you can sell one or two players on for a nice little profit, now you can build a better team. But this is a task, right? Like, I think in terms of reputation, I think we're the lowest reputation club in the I think we're the lowest reputation club in this division. So we're facing it on all fronts, but that's part of the fun. I'm a little disappointed we didn't start this save a month earlier, because if we'd started a month earlier, I probably would. I may not finish it, but I'd be close to it by the time FM23 comes out. So that's a bit disappointing. I wonder if this button work? No, it's not working. Okay. What if I do that? Does it work? No, it's not working. No, I don't think so. No, it's not doing anything. Okay. Grab it. It's still not ready. Okay. I have a button on my Stream Deck that's purpose is to turn it into performance mode, because one of the things I noticed is even OBS gets a bit funny if I'm no, stop doing that. If I'm playing the game and streaming at the same time, it gets a little bit slow. Okay, so you can't play because you're injured. Okay. So Medway will come in to start. Prince should be fit. Let's bring in Corcoran and we'll switch those two around. We'll bring Column in here. We'll bring Kinge in there. Who have we been using in that position? Who have we been using there? It's not been... Oh, it's been Scott, yeah. And Osu. England can stay there. Those two you can swap out for Ian Taylor. And that should be our bench. I think we've kind of hit the level at which Isaac Brennan is kind of topped out at. And same with Kant. I think this is their sort of top level. This partnership should start to develop pretty soon too. Okay, that was it. And we'll do that. I think Naylor, we'll move him back to the under 23s because he's not really playing a lot. And neither is he. So these two guys can go back to the under 23s. Even though we've got a few injury problems. Mulders and Win. Oh, Win is a little bit better, I think. Okay. That'll do. Whatever. Submit. Yep. Okay. We'll go back to our usual style of take no prisoners. Yep, that's fine. Yep. Very attacking. Oh, hey, nice start to the game. Minute in. Love to see it. That last game against Cribs, that was the first game that since we've switched to this kind of style that we weren't really able to bully the other team. So this is kind of what I'm talking about. We only have 83 people here today. Like, we're not a very big side. Hey, Durandy, how are you? Oi, 2-0 at a start. Yeah, so we've been pretty good at bullying these sides into submission offensively, just clogging up the middle. I'm good, man. It's Monday evening, so we managed to get through Monday, so can't complain, right? It's always a good. It's always good when you start the week like that. And in a couple weeks, I have some time off, so I'm looking forward to that. How about yourself? You probably in the UK. You're just staring down the barrel of a Monday. Is that the move? Okay, this is where we get cut usually, or we clog up the middle and we do well. So that's a good start. 3-0. Let's go. Yeah, right. So you're still have your Monday morning. I'm personally, I'm not one of those people. No, I'm from Canada originally, but I live in Australia. It's 4. Thank you. Yeah, so I'm in Australia at the moment. And when I say at the moment, I mean I've lived here for a very long time. Yeah, Mondays are kind of one of those weird days where what's Australia? Yeah. We're all paid actors here, Tony. Apparently I keep hearing that. Shrimp on the Barbie. I don't know, man. Hold side's tired. Okay. Who can we take off here? Yeah, we don't really have shrimp. That's true. Okay, so we'll get him out. Alice Springs. You only know Alice Springs. Well, okay. You're like the only person in the world who only knows Alice Springs when compared to Sydney. I'll have to do that. Yeah, it's Monday's kind of one of those things for me. Like I don't mind Mondays because Mondays are a bit slow. For me, it's Tuesdays that are the day of the week that I find Tuesdays objectionable because it's like the week is still not even really. It's still just getting started. I don't know. It is. It's not quite the center of the country, but it's not far off. And really, nice shot. If you've ever been to Alice Springs, well, you remember it first of all because it's kind of an odd place. You look at maps every day. Oh, okay, fair enough. The Alice is kind of a really odd place because it's kind of in the middle of nothing. And I'm not kidding. It is dead set in the middle of nothing. There's a few places like that in Australia. So I forget the name of the town. There's a town when you're driving over from Perth, you're driving to South Australia to get to the sort of eastern half of Australia. There's a town on the highway. I forget what it's called, but the bus stops there. If you take a bus across the country, it stops there. And there's dead set nothing there. It's just a gas station. There's a few Aboriginal communities out around there. Yeah, there's a few places that like that in Australia because it's so hot. But there's places like that in Canada too, right? Like, so if you go into Toronto, right? underneath the downtown of Toronto, there's a system called Path. And basically, all of the major buildings in the center of the city are connected by underground tunnels. And when I went to university in Ottawa, I went to Carleton, and the whole Carleton University campus is connected by an underground tunnel system because it's too cold in the winter to walk around outside. So in Ottawa, so I lived there for 4 years to go to uni, and there were days in Ottawa where it's like minus 35. The coldest I think I ever was there was minus 45, and with wind chill it was minus 60. And I'll never forget that day because I was sick. I had pneumonia at the time, and we used to, back then, it was a long time ago, we used to get the newspaper delivered to our door. And I remember going out to get the newspaper, and on the front page of the Ottawa Sun, the whole front page was black. And it said on the cover, like this black front page, and in big white letters, minus 65, stay inside. And I thought, wow, okay, it's going to be really cool today, like minus 65. Like, whoa, that's, with wind chill, that's a bit much. And then I thought, some kid delivered that to my door. And you sort of think, wow, man, they're built different. And my first winter in Ottawa, so I grew up in Toronto, and my first winter in Ottawa was enlightening because Toronto is cold, but Ottawa is a different level of cold, and it's a different type of cold as well. It's much, much harsher. Toronto's just kind of damp and really uncomfortable because of the lake. It makes everything just a bit moist and awkward, but Ottawa is just like real cold. But there's a canal system that runs through Ottawa, and it starts at Carleton University and runs all the way through to the city and to downtown, right near Parliament, actually, Parliament House. So you can skate in the winter. You can skate from Carleton University all the way through like Glebe and all these other suburbs, and you can get to Parliament. It's kilometers long. And the city puts tractors on the canals, and they clean the ice, get all the snow off, so you can skate. And they have little huts out there selling hot chocolate and this thing in Ottawa they call beaver tails, which is a pastry that's shaped like a beaver's tail, and it's covered in cinnamon and stuff. It's really nice. It's deep fried pastry. It's really good. Anyway, I went away to uni, and there was a guy who lived in my residence floor, and I didn't know him very well, but I knew him loosely from back home. We had mutual friends. He lived in the same area of Toronto I did, and we had some mutual friends, and we'd met once or twice over the years, but we weren't buddies or anything. Just some guy I met a couple times anyway. And it got really cold one night, and we all decided to skate from uni into the city to go to some of the bars in the club district in Ottawa. And he got absolutely blind drunk. Like, I mean, stupid levels of drunk. And it was so cold that we ended up, some of my mates and I we ended up taking taxis back to residence because skating would have been just, and it's kind of weird too, like you don't realize, but the curvature of the earth is actually a thing, right? It's not a pretend thing, it's an actual thing. And so when you go from Carleton into the city, it's kind of downhill a little bit. The water the canal is it's slightly downhill, and you can kind of notice it. After 2 or 3 kilometers, you kind of can tell that on the way into the city, you're coasting a lot. Like you kind of get up, you take a few strides and you can kind of glide a lot. On the way back, you kind of notice that you're skating uphill a little bit, and so it's a bit of a chore. So, students who've had a little bit too much to drink in freezing, minus 20 weather, you just skating uphill. It's stupid, right? This one dude, he and some of our other friends decided they were going to skate home. They didn't want to spend money on a taxi. They must have bought more. Actually, they went to Hull. That was right. So across the border from Ottawa. Ottawa's a border town between Ontario and Quebec, and the river, the Rideau River, is the border between Ontario and Quebec. And so you just cross over the bridge. You can walk, and you're in Quebec. And the bars and clubs there close at 3. Well, the last drinks are at 3. And in Ontario, everything closed at 1. So what students would do in Ottawa is, how to describe Ottawa? The federal government's there. So there's a million, like 1.1, 1.2 million people there. Back then, they were starting to get a bit of a tech sector, but they didn't have it fully. There was a couple of Mitel and a few Corel, a few local Ottawa companies. Pratt and Whitney were there as well. But most of the people who worked in Ottawa were either directly employed or indirectly employed by the federal government or the universities. So there are 2 major universities in Ottawa. There's University of Ottawa and Carleton. And so both of those universities, strangely enough, bring in a lot of students from outside of Ottawa. So there's like a city of 1 million people, but probably 50,000 of them are students from out of town. Very weird setup. And so there's a lot of young people in the city. And so these dudes skated back, and this guy in my residence building, or my floor in res, who I knew from back home, he got frostbite, and he was wearing a toque, right? Like a hat. And it's hard to show, but it didn't cover his earlobes. And he got frostbite on his earlobes. And when he woke up in the morning, his earlobes were black, which means they're necrotic. So they had to take him to the hospital, and they had to amputate his earlobes. So this 19-year-old dude had his earlobes cut off because he got drunk and decided to skate home. So yeah, Ottawa was a different experience for some of us. We learned very quickly that it wasn't the greatest of places for that sort of thing. But I enjoyed my 4 years there. It was good fun. 5 games unbeaten. Yep. We're all very happy. Big victory. Yada yada. I'm really interested in this game here. That's the one I want. But yeah, by comparison, Sydney's different. By comparison, it's hot. There's no other way to describe Sydney other than it's hot. Infinity lose. Training. Presser impressed by Hassel. Hassel has been good. Yeah. For me, though, the worst thing was when I moved to Australia. It was 1997. It was February of 97. And I just finished school in December. And I kind of had some stuff I was going to do. I was kind of be at loose ends. And my wife, she's my girlfriend at the time, suggested I come visit her in Australia because she was before you were born or after Tony. I think you're not 26 yet, or 25. So yeah, I got pneumonia shortly after exams, my final exams at school. I got pneumonia, and I couldn't go outside. I was trapped. I couldn't go home for Christmas. I was trapped. My roommates all left except for one. He couldn't get out because he lived in a northern town in Ontario, like, and I mean like a proper northern town. And I think it's the most northern city in the world or something. It's weird. Anyway, he lived way up north. He couldn't get out because of the weather, so he was sort of stuck there. And so yeah, he and I were trapped, and I had pneumonia, and it was freaking cold, and I really was struggling. Like, I was really struggling. So got through Christmas and New Year, and then called my mom and said I was coming to visit back in Toronto. I was well enough to go home, but I was still pretty sick. So I took the bus home. 6 hours when you're sick isn't fun. And I'd had a job lined up in the UK that was starting in like March. And it was for Standard and Chartered Bank. And it was to build a website for them. So this was 96, 97. It would have been one of the first banking websites in the world. And so I was going to go live in London for a little while and do that. And then when I got back to Toronto, they called my house in Ottawa, and my roommate gave them my mom's number. And they basically said, look, we have a few technical problems in the bank. We're going to put the project on hold for 6 months. So we're going to buy out your contract. And when we restart the project, we'll rehire you. But in the interim, we'll pay you out. And so I got paid out for the full extent of the contract. And which was really good. And didn't have to go to London. And I went to the doctor, our family doctor. Our family doctor was my mom's doctor for like 40 years until she died, 45 years or something. And he'd seen me from the age of like 3. So I was, by this stage, I was like 19, 20, or no shit, I was 21 or something. And I went in and I was sick as a dog. And he just said to me, he said, if you can go somewhere warm, like Florida or something, or somewhere just hot, like, you know, Dominican or somewhere like that, just go somewhere warm for a week or two and let the warm air and the sun get at you and kind of get rid of some of the congestion. Your pneumonia will go away pretty quick. And I thought, you know what, I'm going to go to Australia. So I packed my stuff up in Toronto, packed up my clothes and everything, and boarded a plane and went to Australia, went to Perth. And when I left Toronto, it was like minus 20 something with wind chill. They were de-icing the plane. And I landed in Ottawa, or in Perth, a couple days later. It was 41 Celsius. It was just shock. It was a shock to the system. So my introduction to Australia was full on. Recently relegated Pool are the clear favorites in this home encounter. We'll have to make sure they do a professional job against newly promoted Infinity. Okay. Pool are in 11th. They're not really. I'm coming for you, Pool Town. You have points that I want. So yeah, my introduction to Australia, living here, because I'd been to Australia once or twice before. But that was my first Aussie summer. It was stupid. I'll never forget being in North Perth. I went for a walk. We lived in South Perth, and I walked all the way up to the north side of Perth, across the Swan River and the bridge, and through the city. And I used to walk to the public library and read books because I didn't have a job because I wasn't allowed to work and stuff. And so I used to do that while my wife was studying. And the concrete was so hot, and the iron content in the sidewalk in Perth is so high that the sidewalks rust a bit. And my shoes would stick to the ground. The rubber on my shoes would get so hot it would stick to the ground. It was wild. I don't care about that. our goalie again. 19-year-old center back. No thanks. Hey, Gravita is ready to come back. We'll give him a bit of time to get up to scratch. Yep, we'll do that. Okay. So the next match, I think, is that cup match. So, and it's in a couple of days' time. So we're going to play Kyle Burt for King Gay. We're going to give... Do we have a right back? We don't really have... Do we have a right back in our system somewhere that's any good? He's good, but he's injured now. You're too slow. Brian Michel, you're too slow. Yikes, we're really short on right backs. How long is he out for? 2 weeks. See, he's pretty good. I actually like this young guy. He's a pretty solid player. But unfortunately, he's out for a while, so... Do we have anyone on the other 18 squad? Might make it through. Jack Horn. How old are you? You're 16. You're probably a bit young for this level. You're a bit slow for this level. Keelan, you could play at this level. Potentially. I don't know, man. I don't think I'll risk it. Shit. Team selection. I don't think I'll risk that. I think what we'll do is turn that off. I think we'll put Puchinski back there. I think he's a left footer. So we'll play him in an inverted wing back position on support. Then we'll swap out Corcoran for Small. Prince. We'll get Danko in there, and we'll get Moldy in. Got him. Get Win in there. Get him in there. We just took Scott out. Now we don't really have anyone who can play the. Do we have anyone who can play the left side of midfield? That's any good. Oh, Michael Baker, come on up. You're gonna play on the left side of midfield. Are you a left footer? I think you are. Yes, good. You're gonna play out there. And then we'll do a Crowther here. And where is Naylor? We had that other guy too, I think. What was that dude we just signed? Kearney. Tell me more about yourself. You're pretty good, actually. Actually, let's give you a shot. Let's try you. There. Okay. Yeah. Alright. So let's get rid of that filter. Alright. So we should now have full coverage. And we should be giving our first team a bit of a break across the board with a fully rotated squad. A couple of guys who are not in good fit conditions, but that's okay. Yep. Let's go. We'll do our usual heavy press. Okay. And we'll go very attacking. We might get stomped on here, but that's okay. I'm happy. Just as long as we compete well. Oh, they have a nice gold strip too. So they're doing what? Why is this? Sorry. So that's the risk we run with that style. Is they cut us open with passing, right? If the team that we're playing against is decent, they can cut us open with passing. But we had to rest our best players, so kind of at the whims of the gods here. Hey, Mark Kearney. Last minute introduction to the side. You were inspired. I could have played Santoro, actually. Yikes. That was not me not thinking. Anyway. Oh, Mikey Small. Easy does it, son. I like that guy, but I don't think he'll ever really be a first team player for us, but I like him. I'm a fan. I think Dank was also, I think he's picked up an injury now. I think Dank was kind of hit the level as well of his incompetence. I saw Bruczynski go for that tackle, and I thought, oh, they cut us open. But Jake Alley saves the day. I think Dank was hit his level of incompetence. Yeah. Ooh, I don't know what that was. Let's go. Counter. Let's go, Wayne. There you go. Kyle Burt. I think that was way offside anyway. Okay, so we've been the second best team here. I guess telling them we're happy is a good thing. Gotta be careful with Dankwa. He looks tired, as does Kearney. They don't look like they're gonna make the whole game. Whew. Normally we would give up penalties in that situation. That has been our historical playbook. Oh, Kearney. Oh, I thought he was gonna put us in the lead, 3-1. I thought we were up there. I'm not sure where our guy attacking the near post. I thought that was offside. Yeah, that was offside. Yeah. We're under a bit of siege here. Hopefully we can turn the ball over, but it looks like they're going to cut us open. That's not ideal. We're not really... Oh, Baker is not having a good game. Okay. We got to substitute him out. Oh. Okay, stop. Substitution o'clock. Okay, Baker at a 6-1. Sorry, son. Time for you to get out of there. Kearney is dead on his feet. So we'll have to change those two around. Crowther is not having a good game either. I don't really have anyone who can move up to that position. I get one more change. Who do I want to pull off? Burt. Yeah. I'm walking a fine line with those cards, but that's okay. Let's see if our captain can inspire us. Ooh, nice ball. That was not good. We've turn the ball over. Oh. Yep, I knew we would just keep turning it over. So this is the difference. Our second squad doesn't have the class. I knew Bruczynski was going to go. I knew it was only a matter of time before he got sent off. Okay, we're in a bit of a pickle here. Let's drop Kant back to that. Let's drop him over there. Actually, let's just swap those two around. Or let's do that. Let's do that. Who can play? One of these guys can play defense. Nah, we'll do that. I think he is a right footer. Yeah, okay, so we'll just get him playing that. We'll get him just playing a standard fullback on support role. And then we'll have Taylor by himself up there. And hopefully we don't get embarrassed. Like that's not a goal that we should surrender in that position, because that had nothing to do with being a man short. That's just Dankwa not being good. Well, it's like not ideal. A tying goal would be lovely, but no, we're not having a good game here today. I'll demand more, but no impact. Yeah, no, that wasn't a good performance. Sorry, Michael Baker. We threw you in and you absolutely pooped the bed. That was disappointing. Oh well. We at least rested our best players for what is a big match. Training, rest, 2 days. Let's go. Okay, what do we got here? Kearney scores on debut. Ban. Who is he looking at? Bruczynski. He accepts his fine. Yeah, I'm not too fussed by not being top of the table. We're still in a good spot. Not what I was trying to do there. Where are we? Let's see. Does that do anything? What? Why did that not work? There we go. I have my Elgato foot pedal, which, candidly, is probably the most overrated product that Elgato make. I'm not going to be... let's see if I can sign him yet. He's still not interested. I like Elgato products. I have tons of them. I'm a big fan. But this foot pedal, I don't know. It's not the move, I don't think. One of the things I've learned is our depth isn't as good as it probably should be. But anyway, that's all right. Yeah, so I have these Elgato foot pedals, and I have the main profile of the foot pedal linked to It's have it defaulting so that the middle foot pedal is the space bar, which is the continuation button for Football Manager. But I don't know, just the angle of these pedals just it doesn't feel right. It's I don't know how to describe it. It's not sloped enough or something. I don't know. Yeah, I'm not gonna replace. I'm not replacing a alley, so you can shove off, bud. He fancies our chances. Let's go. I mean, if you want to come in on a trial. Oh, we can't bring him in. I've gone through 10 sessions. So you're at Cribs. Huh. You're not terrible, Adams Jamo from Nigeria. Let's scout him a little bit more. Yeah, so this foot pedal it's okay, but it's not awesome. We'll say nice things about his training. I'm always skeptical of saying nice things to Prince because he sometimes takes them the wrong way. I don't care about you guys. What does our squad depth look like? Zach Walker, Dylan Edge. Kinge is kind of our starter bird is out there, so I like you, but you're not special enough for me to warrant changing things up. Yeah, so I've kind of find myself with this foot pedal. I really wanted to use it for Warzone, and I wanted to use it with like the center being, the center pedal being lethals and tacticals, but I don't know. It just didn't. The angle's not right. Fair enough, man. Yeah, so I don't know. I might look at it again because they in the box for this thing they give you in the box for this thing they give us extra. Which team do I support? I don't know. Like, so the problem I used to years ago when the Premier League used to be available on TV here in Australia, I would have said I was a Manchester United supporter. But the problem here in Australia is that now the Premier League is only available on Optus's streaming service, and it's like $26 a month to watch it. And I always kind of balked at it when, that's a lot of money to watch soccer. And then Optus had their security breach, and millions of people had their personal data exposed. And I'm kind of glad I never did now. And so I never will give Optus my personal information ever again. Like, they will never get it. So long as the Premier League decides that Optus is for whatever reason other than, I guess it's money, is the preferred option in Australia, I'm not gonna pay for it. And I don't do like pirate sites or any of that stuff. It's not my style. So if I can't pay for it, I don't get it. So that's a bit difficult, to be honest. It's a bit frustrating. Because I looked at again this year getting a Premier League subscription, but unfortunately, the Optus thing was a showstopper for me. England. Hassle. Taylor. PSV. Oh, right. So the Dutch league. That's interesting. Have you always been a PSV supporter, or that's kind of for somebody in England, that's kind of a weird club to follow, no? I'm gonna have to make him. No, I can't do it. I can't. He's not good enough. You're not from England. Oh, I thought. Oh, right. You said you live 1 hour ahead of the UK, right? So you're in the Netherlands. Gotcha. Or are you? Am I making an assumption you're in the Netherlands? Probably be. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Let's roll with that setup. Yep. We're gonna go back to our full court press. I'm in Holland right now. Oh, okay. I've spent a bit of time. Well, I've spent a lot of time in Germany for work over the years, and I've been through Holland a fair bit, actually. Not just Amsterdam, like most people, most English Westerners. We've been to the Netherlands. We've gone to Amsterdam once. That's the English world's version of I've been to the Netherlands. They've gone to Amsterdam. They've gone to a cafe to get weed and walked past the red light district, and so then they've been through the Netherlands. I've actually been to a few places and seen some stuff. Oh, I thought that was in Eindhoven and places like that. But not a tremendous amount of time, mostly in Germany. Yeah. I always like Dutch people. Somebody asked me once, sorry, I'm going to do you dirty, but when somebody asked me, how would you describe the Dutch? And I said, they're like Germans with a really good sense of humor. And there we go. And my friends who were Dutch seemed to think that was quite clever. So it wasn't insulting, or it wasn't intended that way. My favorite time. Oh, come on, man. That's not what was necessary. Okay. This is not ideal. Oof. Okay. We're going to have to use that to bring on a center back. These two don't play well together. I'm going to still play very attacking. Whatever, man. Let's go for it. I would imagine that PSV are leading the Dutch, whatever. I forget the name of the Dutch league. I would imagine that's no. Okay. As a PSV supporter, that must hurt your feelings. I always remember PSV were a development powerhouse for Dutch football, and then they'd develop great young players and then sell them off to big clubs in Europe. It's always, and that's always been, cut us apart. But it's still early. Like, I mean, it's not like you're, stupidly, it's not like you're 3/4 of the way through the season or anything where, being behind. Who is the most wanted player in Europe? Not named Erling Haaland. Okay. Hey, there are a couple of, or they used to. There might be in the German leagues now. There used to be a couple of the Canadian national team players. Yeah, Holland. He's already at. Is he still on like a hat trick a game pace or something for City? Like every time I look, he's sort of just piling in goals. I saw one the other day. It's like the only thing that could stop him seemed to be the post. Christian Eglund is not playing well. Let's do that. And we'll wait. There used to be a couple of Canadian kids or young guys, Davids and stuff, who played in the Dutch leagues, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, no, come on now. You can't be serious. A second... Come on, man. That's just cruel. Yikes. What am I going to do here? Far out. I might drop him into there. Like, I'm literally just playing around now. I have no idea what I'm doing. This is a mess. Let's just go strikerless. It's not really anything else you can do here. Yeah, right. Maybe just do that or something. I don't know. Do I have any substitutions left? I think we'll just have to run with that. And I think we will have to change. Like, this is an important. Like, we can't let them come at us. That's the other part. Cancel those changes. I really need to win this. So we'll play a balanced mentality, I guess. Just try and see out the time. If we can just hold on, that would be awesome. Oh, absolutely. Oh, my goodness. Yeah, it's impossible. No, ignore it. Go away, man. Oh, we need a save. Ugh. Ignore him. Okay. Oh, I'll just have to run it. Who cares? Oh, shut up. Oh, that was ridiculous. That was special. I agree with the sentiment from my assistant. That was special. That's worth a couple £1,000 to us as well, which is nice, considering the position the club is in financially. That was a big win, but we are now going to have all sorts of problems because we're going to have several players suspended. Infinity fortunate to beat Worcester. Yes, this is true. Correct. We win in the second round qualifying. Casualty, too close to the edge. Often cross the line what we consider except to physicality, which would make style. I don't know. They're abrasive, but that's how they want to play. Yeah, man. £4,000 almost. There you go. That's what we need. Like, financially, that was like pretty worthwhile. What is our income for the month? We're $25,000 this month in income. What are our expenses this month? Holy moly. We might actually turn a profit this month. That would be kind of crazy. I can't envision that ever happening, but there you go. The club fines help. I'll watch your TikTok off stream. Delighted with the win. Me too. We're all delighted with the win. How long of a train ride do you have for work? I can see it in chat. So even if it gets deleted, I can still see it. It's just deleted. What does it look like here? Yeah. Don't worry about that. Yeah, I'll watch it off stream. Yeah, so the bot just is a little aggressive sometimes with links. I'm actually thinking I'm using Bottissimo, and I like it, but I'm actually considering switching away because it's a bit aggressive with how it behaves sometimes, which isn't ideal. Oh, we get our third round qualifier draw today. 99 teams will go into the draw. Let's view the draw. Draw all the teams. Where are we? Who are we playing? Horsham YMCA. Oh, they're below us. Let's go. We might actually win another round. Let's go. Decent crowd is expected. I think it's funny that we're still in a cup where Liverpool are playing. We have so many games that are being rearranged for a whole bunch of reasons. Because we're on a ground share too, and the ground is owned by Hythe and Dibden. Even though I think they're below us still, they are because we got promoted and they didn't. I need to rest my squad. yeah, because we moved up and we share the ground, they get first dibs on the dates. So if any conflicts arise from their games and their club matches or their cup matches, our games get rearranged. So we're just having games all over the place because of that at the moment. 28-year-old midfielder. Thank you, Watch. I'm not interested. Wait a second. Is Putin back to bombing Kiev again? Is that what I just read? Are you kidding me? That's wild. That dude's a maniac, man. Like I don't pretend to be a Russian-Ukrainian war expert, but he's just nuts. Like, the whole world can see that they're losing. And no matter what happens now, Russia has lost stature in the global community. Nobody respects them anymore. And more to the point for Russia, the bigger problem that they face is less people fear them. Right? You can see that with Kazakhstan and some of their neighboring countries who are not sycophantic, right? Who's considering asking for? Just drop that in the inbox. But some of those countries that are not entirely sycophantic to them are starting now to stretch their legs. That's like, if I'm Putin at this point, I'm looking for what my win strategy is here. Like, how do I end this and not look like a dumpty? Because the idea that they're gonna win somehow, they're not taking anything, right? Like, that's just the volume of modern Western weaponry that's poured into Russia. Or sorry, poured into Ukraine. They're not winning anything now. So he's completed his trial. If he played an actual wing position, I'd consider it. But I don't need advanced wingers. And I don't feel like retraining you. And mate, we've had him in a few times. Is he a right-footed or left? I think he's a left-footed player from memory. Yeah, he's a left-footed player. I could have used him if he was a right-footed player. Because that's a problem. That right back position is a problem. Homage. Alfredo Camus. There's a name I haven't heard in a while. Where are you playing at these days, son? Wow. He was here when I took over the club. No. Edge finishes his trial. Every time I see his name Edge, I think of the wrestler. I actually have a Funko Pop figure of Edge, just back there. I don't have a lot of pop figures. It's not really my thing. I'm a grown man. I don't really do toys, but there are some that I do have. So I have 4 Maple Leafs Funko Pops. and I'm considering William Nylander as well. There's one or two others I might get. Because I'm a Toronto Maple Leafs fan. So that makes sense. And then I have the entire Letterkenny collection. So Letterkenny is a Canadian TV show about a small town called Letterkenny. It's hilariously funny if you're Canadian, basically. And so they have come out with Funko Pops. So I have them all. I have all 6 of them. Check that, 8. I just got 2 more last week. So I have the whole collection of those. And then I have Edge. Because A, Edge is awesome. B, he's from Toronto. So I'm a fan. Not a huge wrestling guy. I used to be when I was a kid. I was a big wrestling guy. My dad, actually, weird story. My dad grew up in Nova Scotia with The Rock's father, Rocky Johnson. They grew up together in Halifax. And so my dad was mates with Rocky Johnson. And when he was wrestling in the pro circuit in the 80s, 70s and 80s, he was Rocky Dropkick Johnson. And he'd wrestle at Maple Leaf Gardens with Maple Leaf Wrestling, which was a part of the, well, now we would call it WWE, but back then it was WWF, when it was more of the regional territorial wrestling. So Maple Leaf Wrestling was part of the territorial region of WWF, Vince McMahon's seniors thing. And so Rocky Dropkick Johnson would wrestle there, and my old man would take me and him down, and we'd go sometimes have lunch with Rocky Johnson, and we'd go watch the wrestling in the front row. And yeah, there you go. Weird story. My mom had pictures of us when we were small, my sister and I. My sister's a bit older. And Dwayne Johnson on the front yard of our house. His mom and my mom were friends, and they used to come over and hang out. So there you go. But we were never mates. Like his mom moved to Florida when his family got divorced. His parents got divorced when he's quite small. They moved to Florida, so it's not like we were buddies or anything. Just I was like 2. So there you go. Okay, what are we going to do here? I'm not sure how serious to take the FA trophy. I mean, I'm taking the FA Cup seriously because financially, it's in my best interest to take it seriously. But, again, I'm not sure. Not sure how to. I mean, we'll try and get the W and see if it's worth anything financially. And go from there. Wow, Tottenham have pulled out to a substantial 5-point buffer. Very early on. Well, they got 2 points up on us. I think they beat us. Okay. Need to keep an eye on that. Plymouth Parkway are pretty good. Cribs can't win. They keep drawing. That's the death one right there, right? When you can't seem to win, you just draw. That's the painful point. I thought that was Maggots Field. That would have been awkward. Anyway. Okay, where are we at? got. I mean, if the FA Trophy pays money, if we win, like I said, we could actually be profitable this month. Recruitment advice, Jamie Prince. Why would I change him to that? That doesn't make sense. No, I'm not going to do that. No, I'm not going to do that. You're being stupid, Chief Scout. This is the season. If we were to get promoted again, I would seriously consider this being another year where I look to replace my director of football and all of the staff again. I would consider that again. Okay, so Gravita's back. Brennan is back. Excellent. Let's go. We'll get Gravita straight back into the lineup. Scott can come out. Put him there. And we'll put Gravita right back in. So, Kingay. Okay. Mikey Small. You're up, bud. Yep, that's the starting lineup. Let's go. Okay, let's do this. Yep. We'll go back to the full court press. Yes, we will. That was useful team talk. Let's go. Very attacking. I don't like to change that in our tactical setup, but, you know. Oh, I thought Taylor was going to spring Hassel that time. Oh. Oh. That's a cracker. We'll timestamp that one. Oh, man, that's a good goal. Oh, he beats him from a long range. Wow, that's a good goal. Okay. Again, not a big crowd. Just 77 people here. That's a bit of a worry that we're not, like, with all of the success we're having, we're not really growing the fan base. Or are we? We're at home, yeah. We're not really growing the fan base here. Oof. Oh, let's go. Jake Alley keeping us in there. I didn't see. Sorry, I'm looking. We had a package supposed to be here. I don't think it arrived. That's disappointing. Amazon. Oh, Taylor. Easy peasy. What's that? No, I think they screwed up. I think Amazon didn't deliver on time. Oh, I thought Eglin was going to bury that one. Uh-oh, that's not ideal. But Jake Alley. Let's go, bud. Taylor's been injured. That's disappointing. That's not what we want to see. Huh, that was a good overlap. Oh, Hassel. That was wonderful. First touch. Then I don't know what he's doing there, but he let himself down. Corcoran, Crowther, Hassel, volley. Let's go. That is another. Was that offside? Oh, that's disappointing. Oh yeah, Hassel's. Everybody's offside. Yep, we're doing well. Keep on rocking in the free world, boys. That was a nice little flick on there by the keeper, or to the keeper. Oh, we have numbers here. Oh, okay. You could have tried to spring somebody, but you could just as easily run yourself and shoot it straight at the keeper. That was not the best of plays there by Osu. Hassel, that was lazy, man. See, that's what we've been building for, right? Slightly faster team. And so we are able to play that line. Oh, let's go. This Crowther guy, man. He's turned into quite a player. So if Taylor is hurt, it's not my preference, but he's kind of a good substitution. He's kind of like Taylor Light. Okay, what do we got? Okay, Gravita, we're gonna get you off, bud, because that's potentially a risk. And we'll give Kenge a rest. And there we go. Ooh. Oh, I was a bit worried there for a second we were going to get caught on the counter. But looks like we're in charge. Oh, that was a nice little overlap. Oh, just turn and shoot or pass. Easy does it. When this strategy, this tactic works, you just basically overwhelm teams, but then they do that, and we need our goalie to kind of bail us out. But right now, the goalie seems to be bailing us out. We don't seem to be getting cut apart too much, which I can wear. And when we're 4-0 up, not too fussed by it, to be honest. That was sloppy. Like I said, I think a couple of these guys have now hit the level of play where they're not really cut out for this league. They can make it. They can be reasonable quality. Like they're 6'8". You know, was that offside? No. They're 6.8s, but they're not anything beyond that, right? They're not going to be 7s in this at this level. Oh, that was offside anyway. I just want this game to be over now. I don't want any more yellow cards. I don't want any red cards. I don't want them to score anymore. That's for sure. Wow, they got numbers. Oh, we just fell apart there. That was pretty poor defending on our part. Yeah, so I think what we'll have to do is guys like Kant and Dankwa, I think this year will need to be replaced. Isaac Brennan is probably another one who won't step up to the next level. Is that a penalty? Far out, man. We're doing our best to let these guys back in this game. I think we'll just drop back to a balanced mentality and try and see this game out, because I'm starting to get a little bit nervous here. I mean, when it's 4-0, you're kind of okay, but when it's 4-1, you start to get a little nervous, and they score the second goal, you start to feel a little bit agitated. We're kind of getting, I mean, oh well, good win. Take it and move on. But yeah. So I think, yeah, that's one of the things I'm actually looking forward to with FM23 is having the squad planner, because that would be what I would use, right? I would plan my next year's squad in the squad planner. That would be actually really helpful. 5 to 6 weeks. Not ideal. Oh, he's out too. Wow, we're getting injury bugs this year. We've been pretty good to this point, where we've not had a lot of injuries, but the squad is kind of taking a little bit of a beating here. We've still got Santoro kicking around. Crowther has been a good replacement for Taylor. We'll rest. They didn't play. We'll rest them for a day. Yeah, that's where the squad planner will be really good, because then I could just sort of visually map out what I see in terms of where my gaps are for next season and stuff. Because I do think, I'd like to think we'll go up this year. I'd like to think we'll either win the division or we'll go up through playoffs, which is fine. No, we need him. Sure. Okay. Wow, that's weird. So I have a second monitor over here, over this side. And that's where I've got my OBS running and chat and stuff I can see. And I moved my mouse, and it looked like there was a fly or something. It just freaked me right out. That was so surreal. Mike M. Smith, your quick midfield. I don't need central midfielders. I actually could probably use a right back, if anything, but maybe another central defender. That's probably actually what I should look for. I should look for a central defender on my short list. What do they got here? Man, he might be perfect. Except he's not very good. He is tall, though. Okay. You're not ideal, but in a pinch, what is your contract status? Could I loan you as a fringe player? Where are Chipstead? What league is this? Oh, okay. I think they're up. Oh, no, they're below us. So you should want to come play for me. Okay, good. So you're a fringe player. Suggest terms. Okay, cancel that. He has first team commitments. Okay. What if I tried to buy him? Transfer, make an offer. Nothing. Suggest terms. Holy fuck. You guys want a lot of money. You ain't messing around. I could unsettle him. Because presumably he'll want to play at a better club. I don't need him that badly. I don't have the budget for that anyway. Yeah, let's just unsettle him a bit and see what happens. Yeah, let's do that. Let's just see if we can unsettle him a little, enough for him to want to sort of try and force a move. I could really just use somebody who can play like a tall center back who can cover on the right. That would be useful. Okay, that's good. Excellent. Sure, you can go get a coaching license. Homegrown players. Oh, thanks for the follow, bro. Appreciate it. That's interesting. Didn't come up. Stream elements didn't fire off the alert. Weird. What else? Tony. Thanks, bro. All the hype from Tony. What was I looking at? Scouting. Were there any other central defense? No. Okay, let's go and see if we can find a lone player there. I want somebody tall and fast. Neither of which are tall or fast. Okay, let's... Okay. Samuel Ogole. He's very fast. Let's see if they'll let us have him on a trial. And let's go look at free transfers in the center. Nope. Joe Wynn. I'm not sure. I mean, maybe. Keegan tomorrow. Or Townrow tomorrow. Positioning decisions. He's not really tall. Well, let's just see. This one could be useful. What is he doing these days? So he's at Friendford. He just wasn't good enough at the level we were at last year, so we can't really bring him back. Let's go back here. Let's go transfer center. Actually, you know what? Let's just clear all this out and do that again. Transfer central defense. Chris Morris. We looked at him before. Do I want to bring in an old guy? He's too short, unfortunately. But he can play all positions across the back. How much do they want for him? Okay. Tony with the hype. He is a bit taller. Let's see if they'll let us have him on trial. They'll let us have him for free. Will they loan him to us for free? Because if they loan him to us, okay, he's got first team commitments, fair enough. If they sell him to us, the hard part of this is that he could just get unhappy. I don't know. I think we'll. What is he? He can play on the right. Dear, oh dear. You know what? Let's just take a chance. Let's see what happens. What's the worst that can happen? We'll say, okay, so he's interested in negotiating terms. Wow, he wants a big pay increase. You're going to be a fringe player. You can be an impact sub. Okay. I don't think this is going to go well. Yeah, I'm not prepared to make this dude one of my highest paid players, I don't think. $95. That's probably around the maximum I'm willing to go. That's it, dude. You got everything I can offer you. I'll push that up to 200. That's it. Okay. I have to walk away. I have to walk away from that. You're 32-year-old. Okay. Okay. Oh, you don't want to come. Why is that? You're available for loan. Where Biggleswade Town? Oh, you're one league up. Okay, fair enough. I get it. You want to play down. I see. I see you. You're pretty quick, though. I'm just buying people now. See what happens. Okay, so he's all right. He's okay. He's dubious about negotiating terms. You would be a star player. What if I said you would be a regular starter? You want a lot of money. Oh, sorry. I can't give you kind of money without knowing who you are, so no. Okay. Hey, Kyle Burt's having a good training run again. Money is life. Well, I mean, it's kind of silly, right? Because we're talking about £100 a week, but with the budget that the club has, to make a guy who we don't really know a performance of training a bit too often. I haven't complained about you at all, actually. Yeah, it's not a lot of money, right, in the grand scheme of things, but it is, in the context of this club, it's a lot of money. Can't really justify throwing away money on a guy who might not even be the best player in his position, and then he'll just get unhappy that he's a star and he's not playing. It's just like, nah. I'd rather just kind of hobble through the next little while. Board responder request. What? Oh, a coaching course. I don't give a shit about that. I agree. The schedule is too busy to give him time to go away and do coaching courses. I concur. Okay. You, and you cannot play. All right. Let's go win an FA Trophy first round qualifier and see if we can earn a few bucks. Brennan resumes full training. Good. Excellent. Shannon McKillop. That's an interesting name. Shannon. I like him, but he's a central midfielder, and we have about 1 billion of them. Don't need you. Forward. You're not quick enough. Finishing is... I mean, if you were at the top end of that pace, then that might be worth looking at. If you're at the top end of the pace and top end of the finishing, that would be worth considering. Okay. So we're in good shape in the league. Team selection. Crowther can go in there. Prince should be back now. So that's set. We need to get win him out. And let's get Dankwa in there. Okay. Isaac Brennan is just not fit enough. We're really struggling with people who can play the right side of anywhere. We'll have to get Kyle Burt in here somewhere. In favor of Win, I think. Because we need somebody who can play that wing position. All right. They should start to develop a partnership soon. Yep. Gravita's matching Lockfit. Yep. Okay. Go to the match. Do it. Okay. Skip. Let's go to very attacking. All right. Let's 95 people. This isn't at our park, so that's okay. They're not drawing a lot of people either. Not a good payday, but it's what it is. Court lady rejecting king is treason. What? Okay, do it. Let's go. Oh, excuse me. Oh, Crowther. Oh, that was a good takedown. Uh-oh. Bugger, they cut us open. Ooh, they just walked right around our defense. Oh my goodness. They are absolutely thumping us right now. We don't look good at all. Be better. Play harder. You don't look good. That was not a good effort. Okay. You were not good. Go be better. Oh. Oh, he's going to get sent off. See you later, Lomas. Random facts. Got into this drama lately. Which drama? You know what? Let's pause. Make some changes, because King Gay is just bloody woeful. Get off my pitch. The red sleeve. Never heard of it. Scott can go in for him. And we'll leave that for now, because everybody else is not terrible. And we'll make a historical drama. I assumed as much, yeah. In possession. Let's play wider. Because, oh, actually, you know what? Let's not. Let's play narrow. And let's focus there. Let's try that. Because they're having to... Oh, my watch is almost dead. They're having to play fairly narrow. Let's play a bit wider. Okay, let's do that. Let's see if that helps us. Ugh. That's not good. Okay. We're sort of getting back into this. I really would like to win it now, because I don't want to have to do a replay. That was unlucky. We were the much better team in that second half. Let's go. Start second half. We have a... Uh-oh. We have a substitution we can make. Oh, don't... What are you doing, Jake Alley? Do you normally watch historical dramas, Tony? Doesn't seem like something that'd be up your alley, to be honest. Okay, let's... Osu is dead on his feet. So we need to make a substitution there. Let's do that. Can we make another one? Do we get 4? No. Bugger. We could do that. Nah. Hassel is too tired to be mucking around with his positioning. I don't really want to go to penalties. You watch Korean dramas and romance. Okay. Fair enough. Okay, they've given us the ball back. Thank you very much. Let's go. Play a bit wider. Ah, that's a bummer. Oh no. No. That was unfortunate. Okay, here's a big moment. Oh, I thought we scored. I'm that lonely. I wouldn't say it's lonely. People like what they like, right? Yeah. Oh well. I hate penalties. All right. We've been pretty good on penalties in this series, to be fair. Oh, nice. Was that a stop or did he hit the bar? In this series, I don't think we've actually lost a penalty shootout. He says, well, we're up one. Well, I thought Ali had that one. Okay, let's go, Kearney. Whoa. I knew he was going to miss that one. Oh, that's a bummer. You watch Korean action drama. Oh, cheers for the follow, Searly. I'm not getting the alerts. So, but thank you for the follow. Oh, they missed another one. Okay. Team. Call them. Just slot it into a corner. Oh, don't be hype. Tony with hype in the chat. Let's go, Tony. It's going well, my guy. We're in the FA Trophy, Penalty shootouts. Keeper stops this one. We're good. Did he stop it? Oh, he did. I saw the net move. So we move on. That was a much more challenging game than I thought it needed to be. But anyway, we'll take the W. How's things going for you, mate? You good? Whereabouts are you? I would imagine you're probably in the UK looking at the time and everything else. Okay. Where are we at? Rejected. Okay. Yep. Hey, more money. More money. Let's go. You were awesome. You can't have him. Sorry. He's not for sale. What do we got coming up here? That's all right. We'll do that. Whoa. Yeah, okay. How about whoops. No. That was not what I wanted. How about we ban you? What do you reckon? Go away with your stupid spam garbage. There you go. Go away. I hate those. I hate that stuff. When people come into chat, like I'm busy, I'm playing my game, I'm just trying to have a bit of fun. And some douche nozzle decides that they're going to come in and try and sell bots, like, or sell buys and followers and shit. It's like, pull your head in, bud. Nobody buys that shit. Only stupid people buy stuff like that. Anyway, I think we're going to wrap it up there. Not because of the bot person. Don't care about them. They're dumpties. But I got to work in let's start that again. I got to work in the morning. And it's heading towards 11. And I'm old. So I need time to sleep. Because I'm old. Yeah. Had a busy-ish day, so I think it's a good time to call it. But anywho, thank you as always to Tony for turning up, and Searly and Who else? Durandi, thank you for the follows. The chats, that was awesome. Somebody else followed as well earlier in the stream. I just kind of missed it. I don't know. The creator dashboard and Twitch isn't really working very well at the moment, so that's not helping. But anyway, thank you to everyone who stopped by, said hi, followed. That's awesome. Appreciate it. And we will see you all tomorrow. Tomorrow's Tuesday. We stream on Tuesdays. All right. Catch you later.